Why should you get Nvidia RTX 40 cards when upgrading or building? There is no better time than this to upgrade or assemble. The hardware industry is producing its best right now as you read this article, and far from what AMD and Intel are offering in the processor market, Nvidia is leaping to great heights with the new generation of RTX 40 series cards. The numbers that Nvidia is offering this year are far from any other company offering graphics cards. Even the most powerful AMD cards coming this year cannot compete with the RTX 4090 card and only compete with the RTX 4080, almost, and this is enough as an indication that you will get your value for money with these cards. Competition with Nvidia cards designed for the 2K category is also difficult, and this is because Nvidia also offers the RTX 4070 and RTX 4070 Ti cards designed for this resolution, which achieve better performance at this resolution with rates that break 100 frames per second on them. And this makes cards like the RTX 3090 and its siblings out of the account this year. If anything, the RTX 40 series is the way to go, and here's why. A huge performance jump, that's what you're looking for first. Nvidia's new series has delivered a huge performance jump over the 2-year-old RTX 30 series, and the company claims a 400% performance jump with the new series. That's a pretty big number for the company to throw out, but it's the highest it can get with all the tech enabled, and it's the same performance difference in Cyberpunk 2077, on the RTX 4090 at 4K, and with the fastest DLSS mode enabled compared to the RTX 3090 Ti. But this is probably not the ideal operating condition for you. If you want to compare performance that does not involve any technology to improve it, we are talking here about differences ranging between 30% and 40% as an increase compared to the RTX 4090 and RTX 3090 Ti cards when playing at 4K resolution. If you are looking for cheaper solutions at 2K resolution, the RTX 4070 Ti card designed for this resolution outperforms the 3090 RTX card by a difference of almost 10%, while the RTX 4070 card outperforms the RTX 3070 Ti card by 12.5% at the same resolution as well at a cheaper price. And this ends the story of the RTX 30 series. It should be noted that these differences also appear in 4K resolution in particular, as 1080p and 1440p games do not benefit from this performance because the processor will not be able to keep up with these large numbers of frames in most cases. Even if gaming is your last concern and you want to create content on the card, there is a performance difference of up to 95% when comparing the RTX 4090 card to the RTX 3090 Ti, and this is a shocking difference when comparing between one generation and the next. To sum it up, whatever you do with this card will be much faster than any consumer graphics card on the market, even if it is the latest AMD Radeon card from the highest categories that competes with the GeForce RTX 4080 card in the end with the performance it offers. New architecture plus more graphics memory. If you don't know the reason behind these performance differences, simply put, architecture is the difference that raises any graphics card. This year, Nvidia introduced the Ada Lovelace architecture, which is what provided these differences that you see above. We talked about performance at the beginning, which is the performance that no technology enters into to improve it, but you should know that ray tracing is now stronger by a difference of up to 200% when comparing this card to the RTX 30 generation. You should also be aware that Nvidia cards offer tensor cores. These cores are responsible for the DLSS technology, which improves frame rates using a technology to raise the display resolution for frames that were drawn at a lower resolution, and the reason behind the DLSS technology that works in its third generation, which we will talk about in a moment. These cores have actually been improved to provide better results for anything that requires artificial intelligence on the graphics card. As for AV1 encoding, it is here with the RTX 40 cards for content creators whose content depends on live broadcasting and who are tired of broadcasting content at 1080p resolution. It is now possible to broadcast at 1440p resolution to your followers if you are one of them, and this is what you will do without losing a point of card performance. You can no longer complain because you will get this resolution due to the 40% higher efficiency compared to H.264 that everyone uses. One of the important updates that these cards have received is the update of the graphics memory, especially with the RTX 4090 card. We are talking here about graphics memory of up to 24 GB, which will be able to carry hundreds of frames at 4K resolution to work smoothly while playing or working on any creative content. Next-gen DLSS and better ray tracing. We mentioned that the third generation of DLSS is already here. This generation, which runs on the fourth generation tensor cores in the RTX 40 cards, can offer a difference of up to 200% compared to the previous generation. Crazy numbers. This is also not the number you would expect from just one game, but this number is true. This is the average when comparing a game that runs on DLSS 2.0 with the previous generation and a game that runs on DLSS 3.0 with the new generation using the 3090 Ti and 4090 cards. So don't expect the percentage to differ significantly from one game to another. But numbers aren't everything for these quality-conscious cards either. DLSS 3.0 delivers cleaner frames across all modes when compared to last generation, which has been a problem for fast-paced games in particular. The Witcher 3 is a prime example. The game now offers better lighting detail for small details and the general scene on DLSS 3.0. Because the game is fast and action-packed, you'll see a lot of fire particles and similar lighting particles that add more detail, and you don't want to see any blurring effect in the game as you fight the toughest bosses. Whatever the crisis, DLSS 3.0 technology overcomes most, if not all, of them due to the new algorithms it offers and the new tensor cores. Of course, the overall look and graphics are important, but getting both is possible with Nvidia cards. You get the best performance with DLSS technology and the best ray tracing together or with one of them alone, and in all cases, these rays will be bright on your screen. That's why Nvidia also focused on providing the third generation of RT cores for ray tracing, which provides a boost of up to 25% compared to the previous generation, with better simulation of light by exploiting stronger graphics engines to draw the displayed frames, and this is in terms of ray tracing only, quickly to raise frame rates with or without DLSS technology.